Hey everybody, happy Saturday. It's Saturday. It is a crappy day here in New York City. It's raining. It's gonna rain all day. It rained wee hours of the morning last night and early this morning all day until possibly tonight. So, but that doesn't stop me. So I'll probably wind up going out anyway, just seeing what's out there, seeing what's happening, and just to get some air. Had an okay day yesterday. Of course, there was beautiful sunshine, but I did manage to do some chores here, which kind of made the day a little bit more cheerful. You just got to work through it, I guess. I stopped at Primark the other day, and I didn't say anything because, first of all, I forgot about it. Second of all, I was in the middle of doing something else. Third of all, I was trying to find another piece for what I just purchased. I love their phone cases. I love Primark everything. Let's get that out of the way right now. But I purchased their phone case. I purchased another one the other day. Now, the other day I went and I saw the solid one, but then they also had the same color in like a transparent, and I don't do transparent very well. I have the Stitch phone case, but that has Stitch all over it to where you can't notice that that's transparent. So that's pretty cool too. But this one, I wanted the solid color. So I says, okay, you know what? I seen the solid color. I put it back. I says, I'll come back tomorrow. And I did. I went back the next day, and I only saw the transparent ones, and I panicked. But I had to get on the floor in order to look underneath, because that's where all the colors were on the bottom shelf. And for me to get up off the floor was another fiasco. But I managed to get in my solid color for my iPhone 15 Pro, the case that I wanted, and it was $4.50, and I got this awesome color green. Okay, so with this, I wanted to dress it up somehow, and I didn't see anything else I liked, and I don't like shopping at the phone kiosks, the stands, the kiosk stands that sell all the phone accessories, cases, pop sockets, wires, things like that. I have a thing, like sometimes they tend to scam. They overcharge. That's why this case was $4.50. If I was to buy a case at the kiosk, it would probably cost me $20. I don't do that very well, so I purchased this. But I knew that I did not, I'm out to shop for a pop socket. I've never owned a pop socket before. All my cases in the past always had its own handle, which I liked. Those I also purchased on Amazon. Those are great. But this one, I said, you know what? I think a pop socket would kind of, do better with this. But I didn't want to go to the kiosk because I knew the kiosk was going to overcharge. So I went on Amazon anyway, because my husband last night decides he was going to order something else on Amazon. I said, hold on, I have something on my wish list. I have everything that I want in my wish list. So this way I know where it is. And this way I know if we do go shopping or something, I know that I can look and grab something and finally order it. So I ordered a pop socket for the first time, and it's going to be, if you could see this, you could probably guess the color that I picked for it, which happens to be a bright yellow. So that's going to be good. Yeah, I guess you get to where I'm getting with the theme. So anyhow, this was $4.50. Unfortunately, I did pay 3 times more the price for the pop socket than I did for the phone case. So the pop socket was like $15. I was like, what? But I'm over it now. It's okay. The initial shock was over, and I'm getting it. I think the pop socket will be here today. It was mailed out already. Yeah, so that was it on that. I'm glad I got it. They also had these colors in pink. They have them in blue, but I wanted the green. Yes, I'm going for a theme here, folks. Anyhow, nothing really else. I did see that Disney had made some announcements. Made announcements, mind you, within a 48-hour period. They came out with like 3 announcements. I'm like, okay, they're really rushing it now, aren't they? But I'm going to say what I got to say. To me, it's a nice scare tactic. And the first announcement that they made was the announcement of the parking situation will be going up for people who pay for parking. That's going to go up another $5. The VIP parking is also going to go up another $5. I believe the vacation club members will also be going up another $5. And, prices are just rising, okay? So also within a few hours, they made another announcement. But I want to go back before I discuss what that announcement was. Last week, I was watching WDWNT, which is Walt Disney World News Today, and Tom. Tom is a wonderful reporter. He has WDWNT. The young gentleman with the glasses. He's great. I love WDWNT. I always did. So I go there for my source of news, and then they report things. They report from all over the lands: Disney World, Euro Disney, Shanghai Disney, things like that. But he had mentioned something last week that caught my eye when I heard this announcement the other day. He had mentioned about, everybody's complaining about prices going up. And he says, you go on vacation or you go to buy things, prices rise. What difference would it make if Disney is going up more? It would also be like almost the same thing as if you were buying something, prices are going to be rising. I forget how he actually put it into words. In other words, it's not as expensive as anything else that you buy. That's how he said it. So that caught my ear. So the other day, Disney decides they're making the announcement. Okay. The parking situation for $5, that's effective immediately. However, the next announcement, I went, you gotta be shitting me. The next announcement was that starting January 1st, 2025, park entrance, the park tickets will be going up. Now, obviously, Magic Kingdom is the most expensive park. So that's going to be going up. I think tickets are going up, I want to say another $10. But, again, you add up that $10, the numbers are there. You add that $10 per park per day. I mean, it's insane. It is absolutely insane. So I don't believe, what Tom said, I don't believe that this is the same thing. I don't believe that, you're paying this much. It's almost the same as if you were paying for. No, I don't believe that. And this happens to be just at the right moment. Why Disney, I told you, there's a method to their madness. I was going to say, I'm going to call it. It's a scare tactic because they want people to panic right now so that they book. Oh, by the way, you can also book your trips for next year. How convenient. So they're taking the reservations also for next year's booking. Wonderful. Years ago, we were able to do it maybe 8 to 9 months in advance, sometimes even 10 months in advance, not a whole year and a half in advance. So it's a little over a year now. If you wanted to, if we wanted to book it, it would be basically over a year. Let's say if I wanted to do it now for 2025, I would actually have the shot to do this. It was very unheard of years ago. So, but conveniently, Disney's willing to make that sacrifice. Only because, and I'm going to say this, they want people to go into panic mode so that they have their trips locked in for 2025 because Epic Universe is going up more and more every day. They're just going up. The building is up. The buildings are up. Things are happening. What I want Epic Universe to do is have a soft opening before January 2025. This is what I'm hoping for. Please do this. Please. And I want that done for spite. I really do. I would like to see this happen. It is a scare tactic. And, people are going to be suckered into doing it. Let me adjust this camera again. I'm so sorry. People are going to be suckered into doing this, as usual, because there's one born every minute. You ever hear the saying, there's one born every minute? There's a sucker born every minute. What a shame. What a shame. I says to my husband, well, I guess that ruins our plans for 2025. You know what? I just want this trip over with, 2024. I really want this trip over with, if we make it or not. Here's the thing. We have now a situation here in New York City. And this is the stupidest. Maybe Disney has something to do with this too. Who knows? I blame Disney for everything, right? All of a sudden. We have here in our city, Midtown Manhattan, New York. they put a series of cameras throughout the city. And those are pay tolls. So when you go through that camera, you're going to be paying $7 each shot. It's a toll to be paid. From uptown to downtown, you will be paying a toll. And most likely from downtown back to uptown, you'll be paying that toll again. It is the most ridiculous thing that this city, my favorite city, has ever done in the history of me living here for 57 years, being born and raised. And I don't even drive. That's going to affect the cab drivers already starting in. The Uber drivers, delivery cab drivers, they're already starting in. I'm sure buses, city buses will be going up. I'm sure city trains will be going, the MTA will be going up because everybody's got to pay for everything. I intertwine this with that because I do my series of fantasy versus reality. Okay? You want your fantasy? You want to pay for a trip that you probably can't afford to begin with? Throw that on your credit card. But meanwhile, here's my reality, that we have this going on now in my city. And my husband works every day. He has to travel in and out of the city every day. He's going to be spending at least $14 more a day to go in from uptown to downtown. Sometimes he comes from downtown, through the city. He's got to go through Brooklyn. He's got to go back into Manhattan, and he has to pay that friggin' toll. And same thing coming back. So we're sitting here again. Now I have my husband figuring out the numbers and doing the math. Remember, I figured out the trip numbers. So I'm doing the math on this. It's almost like $180 to $190 a month extra. And I said to myself, and I say things to my husband, and I know he gets a little ticked off, but I do it sarcastically because I really want him to think about it. And I know he thinks about it. He doesn't talk about thinking about it, but I know he's in his head, he's probably fuming right now. The smoke is coming out of his ears. I says, now, not for nothing. I'm gonna be a wise ass on this. Do you think Mickey Mouse would really care that our toll prices, that we have to pay a toll to go in and out in uptown and downtown in our own city? Do you really think that the mouse would care? So I see the look on his face. I was like, okay, Maureen, shut up now. You've already stated your case. Let that ferment now and sink in. So there's my fantasy versus reality, okay? This is reality right here, okay? Bills need to be paid. Things need to be done. We have things here in our city. I cannot go to somebody else's city and pay their ridiculous prices. I got ridiculous prices right here in my own city. And I would be more appreciative to pay my own stuff here in my own city as opposed to going over there and paying theirs. Just makes sense to me. So while everybody's on the scare tactic, you people do that, and I'll probably just be over here doing my own thing. See, and that's how that works, you know? So you have to sit and you have to assess and you have to think about things. And as much as my husband don't want to think about it, that's, you know, it's happening. And those toll prices, those tolls, the cameras in my city have been up for months. They just passed by legislation. They passed the voting stage. And I don't know who the hell is doing the voting that actually agreed to this crap. But obviously they did, because these cameras are going to go into effect in June. It's crazy. It is crazy. There are already people that are doing protests. I don't blame them. This is my city. This is my city. It's just insane. You know, our subway stations, nobody really wants to ride the subways anymore because of all the crime happening. Here, I'll explain this to you right now. There's situations with crime. People are being pushed onto the subway tracks. People are being, there was a train engineer that in our city train, when they come to a stop, they usually stick their head out to make sure that down the line on the other train, well, somebody came along the other day and slashed the engineer in the throat, okay? Unfortunately, there was a doctor. Thank God there was a doctor that was there to help stop the bleeding and saved that engineer's life, okay? But he is now fearful for his life, okay? You have here, I'm just reading here in my New York Post newspaper today, There was we have certain musical performers in our train stations. I don't know if you guys have it in yours, but this is our city, and we have performers. I got news for you. I've met many bands through subway stations. I really have. They really, you have rock bands, you have it. But this man was playing the cello. So a woman comes up behind him, and he has a metal coffee cup. She picks up the metal coffee cup from behind him and hits him in the back of the head with his own coffee cup. This man now, he says it's been over a week. He says, I am fearful. I can't even pick up my instrument right now. I mean, she fractured, I believe she fractured his skull. This one was released, however, without bail. She also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus the new one now. She has 8 issues against her. She was now, for this incident, she was released without bail. What the hell is going on in my city? Why was she released without bail when she's got so many other things against her? I don't understand. But I say, do you think the mouse would really care? No, the mouse wouldn't care. So this is my fantasy versus reality. So I'm just going to be over here doing my reality. The guy upstairs is moving his chair back and forth. But anyway, this is what we got here now going on in our city. It is not even funny. It is ridiculous. And the prices, you know. But again, I'd rather pay the prices in my own backyard before going to somebody else's backyard and giving them money. I'd rather save that money for my own backyard. That's how I look at it. Anyway, scare tactic from Disney. Yes, I'm going to say that. I am calling it. That's a good one, Disney. Good one, because there will be followers to hurry up and panic and book their trips for 2025. Whatever. This year, I'm just hoping to make it to mine. Who knows? Anything can happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'd be good with it too. I would be good with it. You know? Anywho, what else? I think that's really it. I'm going to see if I can slowly get dressed. It's not going to be looking any better outside. I've had my coffee, I'm reading my newspaper, and I'm burning the candle, and it's very nice and subdued in here. I have the lights off. Well, the living room light is on because I'd be sitting here in complete darkness, and I needed to talk to you people. And I hope everybody is having will have a good weekend. What do you think about the Disney things that are happening? I just thought that was so weird about Tom mentioning that last week, and then all of a sudden this happens. It's crazy. All right, people. Love to all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. If I see anything outside, I'll probably go hang out in some stores. I would like to go today, if not to Starbucks, maybe I'll go to Gloria and Jean's. I like their coffee as well. I do. I'm kind of staying away from Dunkin' Donuts. They have this thing now, Dunking. They have these ridiculous outfits. I mean, it's just, it's weird. But I also see a lot of more freaks hanging out at Dunkin' Donuts lately, at least in my area. I don't know. I just don't like these people that are hanging around. They hover the tables, they sit there, and they're not even elderly people anymore. They're just, to me, they just seem like a bunch of weirdos. Maybe it's just my area. I have no idea. But anyway, I know there's no weirdos in Starbucks, so maybe I'll just go there. Or Gloria and Jean's. All right, people. Love to all. Have a great day. If anything happens, I'll stop back on. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me know your views in the comments, though. This is going to make a good conversation. Anything happening that's interesting in your city, anything that's happening in your city with anything that you don't like. I mean, this is my city. I speak about my city. I love my city. But then again, I don't drive. My husband does the driving. And, whatever affects him is going to affect me, And it affects your wallet. It affects your bank account, So we have our things going on up here, And that's the reality. All right, people. Love to all. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.